Hello, and thank you for joining me here on Sew Stitch Hex. I'm Miss Izzy, and today I'm going to be talking about why my channel is not for kids. So I may talk about children occasionally or things that I think you can incorporate when raising your children or when working with children, but I personally don't think children should watch my channel. Now I know my sister watches my channel occasionally, and she's still little, but I don't think this is for kids. One of the reasons is I am a grown woman and I occasionally cuss. It will come out. I have no qualms with this because I'd rather just say what I'm going to say than I would change it up for fun. It's just what I am, who I am. It's not going to change. I used to not cuss at all, and I had so many different layers of filters and boundaries, and I decided, screw them, don't care. So that's one thing. Secondly, I will occasionally talk about sex. I have not brought it up yet, but sex magic is something that I want to read more of. I am asexual, but I want to know everything that I can. If I can learn it, I want to. And I have several books on the subject. So eventually I will have content that you really don't want your children to know unless you want me to teach them the birds and the bees. Thirdly, I am talking religion and psychology and theology and just general theories, but related to religion. I don't think you want me preaching to your kids, and I don't really think children should be preached to. So I do like that the structure of my channel is going to have different videos, either reviewing books, which provides you with a shorthand. What did I like about this book, and what is it about, if you're interested, so you might be inclined to read it, or a book on how to and what is. Kind of like what is graveyard dirt? Why do you use it? Or what's a scrying mirror? How to make it. That is coming. It's going to be fun. But what I find is that I don't think children should learn from a stranger unless their parents know. So you do have to get permission before you teach a child witchcraft. But no one regulates that on YouTube. No one regulates that on Facebook. No one regulates that just randomly. Unless they track you down in person, they're not going to regulate what you're teaching. But unless you have your YouTube set for kids, or I am considered a for-child creator, then you're going to have your child exposed to witchcraft and to this religious content. I don't want to be the person to tell your child they should be a witch. I don't want to tell anyone they should be a witch. But it can happen if they read some of the books I suggest, or if they watch me and they find by my example that this is what they want, they might be interested. Now, I know plenty of children who just do what their parents tell them to. They go to church, they read their books, they are instructed what to believe. I don't even believe that should be the case. I believe you should give your child the example of how you live and what you practice. And if your child is interested, they can come to you. You can ask them to come with you, but you should not force them into a path that they may or may not believe in. You should give them the opportunity. You should tell them, well, there are other religions. This is how they are. Now, of course, say you are a Christian, you would want your child to follow your path because you believe that is the one true way into heaven and that any other path could lead them to hell. I don't think that's how we should teach children with fire and brimstone. I think that we should give them the opportunity to think for themselves, because children are actually pretty smart. I personally think that we should lead by example. Let them ask and we answer in an unbiased, or as unbiased as we can be, manner. I believe that we should provide children with the proper knowledge, the proper books, the proper resources to make an informed decision, and that they shouldn't have to make it as children. Like, I was baptized. That's cool. I got to ask a couple questions, but none of them got answered because they had no idea. These questions were important to me, and none of them got answered. They're not even that big a deal. Really, they're not. But they're important to me. And when it's your eternal soul, your ongoing life that's at stake, I feel like no matter what the question is, no matter how stupid, you should still be allowed to ask it, and it should still warrant an answer. should warrant research. If they can't answer, they should look for you, and they should help you look and find the answer. Same with children. I don't think they should be watching my channel to learn religion. I don't think children should watch my channel because I don't want to teach them something that goes against your parenting beliefs, because you probably don't agree with me. You probably don't agree that I think children should be allowed to ask questions. You probably don't agree that I don't think the child should follow the parent in whatever religious path they choose. But I'm not their child, like that child's parent. You are. Or someone you know is. And even if that's the case, I assume you don't want them watching me. You don't want me as the example that they're going to follow, and they might. When my hair is dark purple, I have children see me working at the store. One of my favorite examples, someone saw me working when I worked at Panera, and she saw my purple hair, and she said, "Look, it's Princess Mal. It's Princess Mal." And I love Descendants, and I love this example. It's like, yes, real princesses go to work. We earn money. Of course. I was very happy with this because I adore Mal. She's my favorite. And, like, this is a way to be an example for the children. See me here, I'm dressed up in beautiful colors, lots of pinks. Sometimes I'm wearing ears or these little pom-poms. I'm wearing flower crowns. I sound like I should be narrating some woodland creature in a cartoon. But I don't think children should be allowed to just access this as a kid's show. So this may be something you disagree with, and I do want children to have access to whatever it is they need to learn. But based off the content that I will potentially provide in the future, and some of the content I have provided, I don't think it's a good thing for me to be available just for children to click on and watch willy-nilly if you do restrict their access to certain materials. If you wouldn't let your child read the Satanic Bible, then you probably shouldn't let your child watch my YouTube channel. Just saying. You can read the Satanic Bible without being a Satanist. You can read the regular Holy Bible, New James, Apocrypha, whichever one you want, but that doesn't make you a Christian. So with this understanding of how I view these different ideas and how I'm approaching my channel, I don't think my channel is for kids. Now, I'd like to know what you guys think. Do you think that with some of my content, even though I do have fun crafts and I have so many different little ideas about books, would you let a child just watch my show in an unbiased fashion, not based off your own religious beliefs, but in the simple sense of this child is being exposed to something that could be potentially imprinting on them what to believe. This could be giving them a new idea of a religion to follow. And for a smaller child, maybe in their early teens or preteens, this can cause problems at home. For a child who is under 10, they can just follow anyone. And sure, you would think they would follow their parents who want them to be a certain way, and you want them to be their own person, but could this cause problems for them and maybe even cause a break in the trust with them and their parent by providing them with new information that they find more agreeable with their own individuality? You have to think about these things when you provide children with new information. And I worry that I would be the cause of that break between the parent and child bond, or cause conflict in the home that could put a child in danger if they do feel interested in witchcraft and say their parent is as crazy as Carrie from the movie. It's her mom. Her mom was nuts. If you haven't seen it, great horror movie. I'm a big horror fan. But she was nuts. If a child this big came home talking witchcraft, she would put her in the closet and she would never be allowed out again. She'd probably starve to death in there for all we know. So these are the kind of crazy things that you have to think about when you provide content on your channel. And these are the things that I've been thinking about, because I'm not trying to teach to your kids. I'm not trying to preach to your kids. I'm not trying to give them new ideas that are going to separate them from you and your plan for them, even if I disagree with it. I would let my child watch whatever helped them to grow as an individual and in their own way. But I'm not everyone, and I'm not going to parent your children, and I'm not going to be their religious leader. If you think it's an appropriate thing for your child to watch, by all means, like and subscribe. But if you don't think that I should be teaching your kids something that you yourself wouldn't have taught to you, then maybe monitor what they're watching. All right, so this has just been a talking discussion of what I have been thinking through. So go ahead, comment below about anything you think that children shouldn't be exposed to, or if you think that it's appropriate to expose children to different religious ideas. And if you're not a parent, why do you think that is? If you are a parent, what do you do? What would you do? And what are you thinking you could do? Has this changed your opinion, or are you just as stuck on your current opinion as you have ever been? All right, like, subscribe, share with a friend. If you could, I will see you next time here on Sew Stitch Hex.